Well, I didn't want to make this video, but I have no choice but to do so since Saswat Mistra has gone way too far even though most users isn't normally involved into drama. But anyways, hey guys, Carson the Purple Gonimator 2K2 and Ozzy here. And today, we're going to state the truth of a user who has been acting insane in the Disowned, CZD, and the Windows community and is on YouTube. But anyways, let's start the remade truth video on Saswat Mistra, shall we?
So apparently, we have been hearing that this user named Saswat Mistra has caused a lot of drama and has got to be one of the most insane users to ever exist on YouTube and in the Disowned, CZE, and the Windows communities. I can't believe that Carson the Purple Go Animator 2K2 used to like him since 2023. But not anymore after all of the bullshit that he has done. But however, we will give you the truth reasons why we hate him ultimate time.
Saswat Mistra can't handle hate or criticism. Why? Because when me, my friends, and other users made community posts exposing him for his actions and then done with him, he claimed that we are harassing him and thinks that we should leave him alone by us giving him destructive criticism. Not only that, but he refuses to ignore his haters in Fighters server and in CZD community according to Blue Windows Guy by calling Repo an asshole.
Like come on, Saswat Mistra, that's just the simple thing to do to handle hate or criticism. Also, we will have you know that me, Carson, and our friends were stating facts about your behavior since what you did was seriously messed up and unforgivable. Also, you used the camera in Perswad 2K4 and your issue hacking you as an excuse to get away with your actions since we are going to talk about more of your disgusting actions in just in a minute. Not to mention, you need to know the difference between criticism and destructive criticism since both of them are not the same terms. You are seriously being delusional over someone speaking facts about your immature actions. Plus, your haters were only criticizing you for your actions, so why can't you deal with it like a man instead of calling people names for no reason?
Saswat Mistra is being immature, a narcissist, and a troll feeder, because he gets mad or rages in all caps whenever people criticize him for his actions. Not only that, but he claims to be innocent even after all of the disgraceful things that he has done. Troll feeds by giving your E3 UTTP for example attention and popularity by sharing his community post. Seriously, Saswat Mistra? First of all, the reason why people had to criticize you for your actions and think that you're not innocent at all because you kept doing a lot of disgraceful things in the Disowned and other communities which is going to be discussed shortly. Second of all, if you don't like trolls, then you should just ignore them or report them instead of taking them way too seriously by giving them attention and popularity including sharing their community posts. Saswat Mistra is a murder accuser and accused people. One example is that he accused Austin the Superior Disowned 2021 of murdering his father back in July 2024. Not only that, but he also accused him for child abuse, making most bullcrap claims against him, made bullcrap claims against Jamison, and other bullcrap claims against Austin without showing proof or evidence. Really, Saswat Mistra? You know very well that you can't just make stuff up without showing actual proof or evidence. Besides, what you did to Austin the Superior Disowned 2021 was seriously heartless and gaslighting of you to think that he would murder his father when in reality, his father already died from lung cancer back in 2018. Even though I still hate Austin the Superior Disowned 2021. You seriously need to get your brain checked out since it only proves more retardation on you. Saswat Mistra groomed minors and is a cyberbully. Why? because he groomed Inrai in the Windows community while she was a minor. Not only that, but he takes Austin the Superior Beyond 2021 for example way too seriously just because he was proving a point about his retardation and makes cyberbullying videos out of me, my friends, and other users just because we all criticized him for his actions for what he has done to the Beyond, CZE, and the Windows community on his Saswat Mistra sucks UTTPTHDTC account.
What the hell is your problem, Saswat? First of all, do you realize that grooming minors proves that you are a pedophile? Huh. You seriously made Inori uncomfortable by being obsessed with her. Second of all, if you don't like Austin, Carson, Lofty, and other users that are saying stuff about you, you should have just ignored them instead of attacking, harassing, making cyberbullying videos out of them, and gaslighting them even though me and Carson still despises Austin for what he did to me. Besides, you can get a community guideline strike for making cyberbullying videos out of the users, even to the users you hate. This proves that you are being more delusional than you already are.
Saswat Mistra is a hypocrite. Why? Because he claims that he didn't accuse Austin the Superior Beyond 2021 of murdering his father. Yet, he actually did that to himself. Another example, he claims that I'm taking the users I hate such as Claus does Gonemit way too seriously whenever I'm trying to explain to him about Min Kang's actions because I didn't even know him at the time back in July 2024. Yet, he takes users such as Austin way too seriously to himself by attacking and gaslighting just because Austin proved a point about his retardation even though you know the drill. Third example, he claims that he slandered Austin, which is true. Yet, he slandered Pinky last year in August 2023 to himself, which I'm going to get into in just a minute as well. Fourth example, he claimed that Austin is a disgrace. Yet, he is also a disgrace to himself. Fifth example, he claimed that he didn't groom people. Yet, he groomed minors such as Inari to himself. Sixth example, he claims that he can handle hate. Yet, he can't handle hate to himself. Now you guys can understand how it makes him a hypocrite. Saswat Mistra is obsessed with users and can't handle being trolled. Because for example, he was obsessed with me by mass mentioning me on his community tab and that he can't handle people trolling him in Fighter's server according to Selivich. Not only that, but he was also obsessed with Inrai by grooming her by saying that she was cute while he was in the Windows community.
Have you lost your mind or something, Saswat? First of all, you should already know that being obsessed with users even to minors can make them uncomfortable. Not only that, but I can't believe that you would say that comment to Inori and make her very uncomfortable in the Windows community. This proves that you are a pedophile since you are an adult at 19 years old while Inori is a minor. Second of all, if people are trolling you in the Discord server, then you can just ignore that instead of trying to give them attention and make a big deal about it.
Saswat Mistra is being delusional, denying his wrongdoings, and supports disgraceful users. Because for example, whenever Austin the Superior Beyond 2021 exposed him for his actions, he keeps claiming that Austin was gaslighting him and brings up Morris when he has nothing to do with this situation. Not only that, but he supports disgraceful users such as Phil, Jamie, and other disgraceful users and even claimed that he didn't support these users at all. Are you that retarded or something, Saswat Mistra? First of all, do you realize that Austin the Superior Beyond 2021 is proving a point? Because you accused him of murdering his father when his father was already dead at the time since he died from lung cancer back in 2018. So you shouldn't be talking since you gaslight people to yourself, which proves more hypocrisy coming from you. Second of all, the reason why I remember and caught you supporting disgraceful users such as Sand Arrow, Jamie, and other disgraceful users was because they cannot be trusted or supported for what they have done since they backstabbed us. So deal with it. This proves that you are a disgraceful user supporter. Saswat Mistra can't handle being banned from servers, is a stalker, and is an attention seeker. Why? Because according to Blue Windows Guy, whenever Saswat Mistra gets banned from servers, whenever people can't stand him anymore, don't allow him in a Discord server after what he has done, and confront him. He would seek attention, which was before he got banned from the Windows Customization Hub. Not only that, but he stalks users from the Windows community in the Windows Customization Hub by sending people that hate him friend requests, complains about his friends hating him, complaining about their mods, and cross-platforming.
Seriously, Saswat Mistra? First of all, the reason why you got banned from any server on Discord is especially because you have been annoying a lot of people, complain over the smallest things ever, such as your friends hating you, being an attention seeker, and etc. So deal with being confronted. Second of all, you should know that stalking users, even to the users that hate you, is considered harassment, as it's illegal and you can get arrested for that. This proves that you are a Emmanuel Thomas wannabe, even though we don't care about Emmanuel Thomas nowadays for stalking people in the Windows community.
Saswat Mistra has crucified and doxed people. Why? Because, for example, he crucified me, Muksaki, Mr. 5G, Mswint, Selivich, Blue Windows Guy, and Inrai by putting all of us on the cross despite using someone else's video to do so. Not only that, but he doxed my and Selivich's addresses and where we live.
Are you serious right now, Saswat Mistra? First of all, do you realize that you just mocked Jesus' death and you can regret that one day when you die? You could have got a community guideline strike for this if you would post it on YouTube. Second of all, do you realize that doxing people's addresses and where they live can be illegal and you can get arrested for that unless it's used on pedophiles to get the information to the police? Like seriously dude, you need to get a life for God's sake instead of cyberbullying people and trying to get away with your actions.
Saswat Mistra sended rape and death threats and is racist. Why? Because, for example, he sended me, Ozzy, and Pinky rape threats and said the N-word to me while he is white. Not only that, but speaking of what he did to Ozzy, he also sended a death threat to him.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you, Saswat Mistra? First of all, you should know that rape and death threats don't work at all and you can get arrested if you kill someone in real life. This makes you a pedophile since you were adult at 19 years old while Ozzy just recently turned 16 years old and still a minor. Not only that, but this also makes you a pervert since you sended Carson a rape threat as well while he was still 21 in July 2024. Second of all, you should know that saying the N-word makes you racist unless you are actually black or brown in real life, or being edgy by not using it to offend people.
Saswat Mistra has slandered a child, because he slandered Pinky back in late August last year while she was 10-11 years old while he was an adult at 18 years old at the time by thinking that she plagiarized and stolen Viola's summer avatar. But unfortunately, he gotten away with it ever since until I decided to bring it up in June 2024. Not only that, but he claimed that it was a past action and thinks that it should be moved on from.
Like, have you lost your mind, Saswat Mistra? Do you realize that slandering a child while you are an adult is actually illegal and you can get arrested for that? Also, for your information, Pinky actually made her own avatar for herself and didn't actually plagiarize Viola's avatar. This proves that you are a conclusion jumper and spread false information about her. Not to mention, even if you apologize to her for slandering her, then the damage has been done. Besides, what you did to her was unforgivable and we don't care if it was from last year. It was still messed up for you to do that.
Yeah, now thanks to you, No wonder that Pinky felt very upset and felt traumatized because of you. I can't believe that you've gotten away with slandering a child ever since. We're glad that Carson has decided to bring it up since we didn't know about this until now, even though I don't know you to begin with. We thought that you were better than this, but no. You had to go through this on purpose, and no wonder everybody has seriously and severely lost full respect on you. And guess what? We are absolutely done with you, but this time, for good. Oh, and if you think about apologizing for what you have done, then your apologies are denied forever. I hope that Carson's truth video out of you will teach you a strong, valuable lesson.
Saswat Mistra has shared CP, lied about leaving the internet, and makes alt accounts and excuses. Because he shared CP on his community tab. Not only that, but he lied about leaving the internet by making sock puppet accounts such as Strickers for example so that he can slander Ozzy and others, and that he even uses that I got hacked by Cameron Persord 2K4 and Durisha as an excuse to get away with his actions. What the hell is your problem? Saswat Mistra. First of all, do you realize that sharing CP on your community tab is actually illegal and you can get arrested for doing that? No wonder that you are so done for. Second of all, I can't believe that you lied about leaving the internet just so you can create sock puppet accounts to continue getting away with your actions and make excuses by claiming that you were hacked by Cameron Persord 2K4 and Durisha when you were clearly not and were behind the Cameron Persord 2K4 account the entire time. That Durisha had nothing to do with this situation, and even made a lot of people including myself fall for it. Wow, just wow dude. You have seriously tricked a lot of us so that you can play the innocent card on us when it wouldn't work at all. Saswat Mistra has slandered minors and made Ozzy suicidal. Why? Because he slandered Ozzy, Bella, and Connor for being pedophiles and doing CP without showing proof or evidence just to make their reputations on a living hell and make them get a false hate base. Not only that, but he kept constantly attacking Ozzy and refusing to leave him alone 24/7 non-stop by thinking that he's still a pedophile and deserves to leave the internet when he clearly doesn't.
Like. What the actual hell is wrong with you, Saswat Mistra? First of all, do you realize that slandering minors is illegal and you can get into serious trouble with everyone on the internet and even to the police? Second of all, what you said to Ozzy, Bella, and Connor was total BS and was not true at all since they all are not even adults yet. Not only that, but you still keep attacking Ozzy 24/7 non-stop by thinking that he's still a pedophile for liking CP and pedophilia when it's not true, since Ozzy actually hates CP and pedophilia and has been groomed several times and never even liked it to begin with. Now thanks to you, you made Ozzy nearly take his life because of your disgraceful actions against him and the fact that you refused to leave him alone. You know what? That does it, Saswat. We had absolutely had enough with your atrocious actions, even though I hadn't been involved into drama for a while. We thought that you were better than this. But no, you had to go through this on purpose, and no wonder everybody has lost full respect on you. And guess what? We're so done with you forever permanently. Oh, if you think about apologize to us for what we have done, then your apologies are denied. Now, do us a favor and go get a life already.
Saswat Mistra is an Imid the Gonimata 2005 wannabe. Why? Because speaking of the previous reasons, he slandered Connor for doing CP and still kept slandering him. Not only that, but he also slandered Pinky for thinking that she plagiarized Viola's avatar, shared CP, and even went as far by bringing up her past actions from September last year and threatened to find her location, and even did the same thing like Imid did by sharing CP on his community tab. Are you kidding me right now? Saswat Mistra? First of all, do you realize that Pinky has apologized for her actions from last year and didn't know better since she's a child? Like seriously, you need to stop bringing up her past actions from last year already. This proves that you are a gravedigger. Second of all, Do you realize that threatening to find people's locations to where they live is actually illegal and you can get arrested for doing that? Third of all, like Phoenix said earlier, what you said about Connor was total BS since he only made the video in 2021 when he was 11. So therefore, he didn't know better. Why can't you just leave him alone just like the other minors that you slandered as well? Fourth of all, it's laughable that you claim that you hate Amid the Gonamator 2005 for doing CP and slandering minors like Connor. Yet, you act like him by doing the same things to yourself, which proves once again that you are a hypocrite. Saswat Mistra simps on minors, is a pedophile, faked his apologies, and is suicide baiting. Why? Because he simped on Willow early this year while she was 14 at the time back in January 2024. Not only that, but he shipped himself with Binky, faked his apologies to me so that he can get his fans back, and even suicide baited in January 2024 just because me, Mr. Editor, and other users were criticizing him for his actions and got called out for his recent actions, which resulted his permanent hatedom to begin ever since.
Really, Saswat Mistra? First of all, do you realize that simping on minors including Willow and shipping yourself with minors or kids makes you a pedophile even though Carson still hates Willow? Pinky is literally a kid, while you are an adult at 19 years old. Second of all, what you did to Carson was unacceptable since you faked his apologies to him by thinking that you are going to improve your behavior so that you can get your fans back, which will never happen since what you did was unforgivable. So deal with it. Third of all, do you realize that suicide baiting over people validly criticizing you for your actions isn't the answer at any circumstances? Besides, what you did was disrespectful to the people who are suicide victims who are actually going through a lot of depression and sadness in their life. This proves that you are a man-child since you don't act like your age at all.
Saswat Mistra can't handle hate or criticism, being immature, a narcissist, a troll feeder, a murder accuser, and accused people.
Groomed minors, a cyberbully, a hypocrite, being obsessed with users, can't handle being trolled, and being delusional.
Denying his wrongdoings, can't handle being banned from servers, a stalker, a attention seeker, supporting disgraceful users, and crucified and doxed people.
Sends rape and death threats, racist, slandered a child, shared CP, lied about leaving the internet and makes ALT accounts.
Slandered minors and made us suicidal, an Image Gunamator 2005 wannabe, simping on minors, a pedophile, faked his apologies, and suicide baiting. And if you guys like or are neutral to Saswat Mistra, then we would highly suggest you all do not trust and support him anymore because of what he has done. We're not trying to bash your opinions, but it's an advice. Also, don't attack anyone that is mentioned in this video, as this is just about our thoughts about Saswat Mistra. And Saswat Mistra, if you are watching this, we have seriously now lost our full respects on you permanently for what you have done to us since last year. Oh, if you think about apologizing to us indignant for what you have done, then your apologies are denied forever since you really messed up ultimate time.
Anyways, that's all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more content. So this is me and my friends signing off. God bless you.